some of you don't. So let's just start out with the obvious. Yes, my name is Lace. Okay? You heard it correctly. That is my real name. It's not a nickname. It is not made up. No one ever believes it, though. Every time I introduce myself to someone, they're like, oh my God. That is so neat. What a unique name. How did you get a name like that? And y'all, I don't have a good story for it. I truly don't. Lace is just the kind of name you get when your parents are 17 when they have you. That's right. You too could share a name with an original American gladiator. If your mom was unsupervised after cheerleading practice. That's how this happens. My parents are great, though. I love them. I have this little fantasy about like why they had me so young, and I like to imagine it wasn't just because they were good-looking, horny teenagers down in Warner Robins, Georgia, getting it on in a 1975 Gremlin. Yeah, it gets classier. A Gremlin that my dad painted with yellow house paint. That's right. I like to imagine that's not why I'm here. I like to imagine there was a plan, right? My mom was some kind of psychic. She could see the future, and she's like, listen here, David. One day we're going to have a daughter named Lace. She's going to find herself broke and childless in her 30s as a has-been beauty queen bartender, pursuing her big dream of being a stand-up comedian. Performing all over the country. In living rooms and barbecue restaurants. And comedy clubs attached to diners that are definitely not owned by the mafia. Performing for free. In front of tens of people at a time. So here, honey, hold my pom-poms. Help me get out of this cheerleading uniform. We're gonna breed ourselves a winner. Thank you. And they did. Y'all, my parents are still together. They are still together. Thank you. They shouldn't be. But they are. They're together out of spite at this point, right? Isn't that the goal, though? Isn't that the goal? I love them. They're very proud of me. It took them a minute, you know, to be proud of me. No one wants their kid to be a stand-up comedian. You know, they're like, oh, we're so glad we sacrificed our childhoods to raise you. So you could tell dick jokes to strangers. That's cool. Awesome. So glad. Thank you. The thing that would impress them the most, though, would be if I had grandchildren. That's what they want, obviously. You know, it makes sense that they want to be grandparents because they're in their late 40s. So it's about time. Late, actually. It's a little late. My mom, she likes to send me hints that she's ready for grandbabies, so she sends me these unsolicited emails that I don't appreciate, with links to cute little baby clothes in it she finds online, with little messages like, wouldn't it be so cute if one day you had a little baby girl and she wore this little crochet bumblebee costume? That I found on Etsy that I've already bought 3 of. And I don't think it's fair, all right? It's a lot of pressure. So I've just been replying to her emails with links to, cute little nursing homes. But cheap ones. This one had a COVID outbreak. And, you know, I like to remind her, you know, Costco has caskets. I've already bought 2 of them, so keep her on her toes. Which is all fun and games. Oh, haha, it's all funny. Until I remember how close in age we are, and I'm like, oh no. We'll be in the nursing home at the same time. So I need to watch out. I don't know. Life is weird, though. Before I did comedy, I did pageants. Did beauty pageants, right? Well, that's it. Thank you. And people are like, how'd you go from, like, pageants to comedy? That's so different. It's not. It's not. I'm vulnerable, being judged by mostly gay people. It's the same. It's the same. The only big difference is now I don't have to act like I care about world peace. Which is nice, you know? And I get to keep all the food I eat, so I like that. Yeah. Probably the most fun is that when I'm on stage now, I don't have to keep a piece of tape on my hoo-ha. Make it smooth like Barbie, you know. They won't give you that scholarship if they see camel toe. That's not. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. By the way, if anybody wants to try this out at the lake this summer, all right? I'm gonna tell you the secret. All right, we called it Tootie Tape. All right, they don't sell that at the stores yet. All right, I'll be selling it after the show, but they don't sell it at the stores. You got to use medical tape. That's the right kind of tape. It comes off much easier. All right, you got to be careful. You don't want to use duct tape. Not again. You gotta be careful, all right? You'll end up with one less lip, all right? And you need all four, okay? You need all four, that's what I know. Lately, I've been missing my pageant body, all right? I've been missing it. People are like, you look great. Shut up, all right? I know what I used to look like, all right? We all know what we used to look like. I'm allowed to love what I used to look like more, right? That's okay. And I love to tell my friends that I'm like, I'm gonna lose weight, all right? I'm on Noom. I'm doing all the things. I'm gonna lose weight. And then they look at me like they know exactly how much weight I'm not gonna lose. But they support me, you know? And they're like, you know what? I love that journey for you. You know? And that's when I learned that I love that journey for you is the modern day bless your heart. That's what that means. It means we know you're not gonna stop drinking alcohol. And you're never gonna show up to Orange Theory Fitness, no matter how much you pay for it. And I love that. But it's hard to tell, like, my Gen Zer friends that I want to lose weight. You can't tell these young kids that you want to lose weight because they're like, shut up! You gotta love your body. And I'm like, bitch, I went through puberty in the 90s. I've hated my body since longer than you were alive. I'm allowed to hate it. Here's the thing, though. I gotta give it to them, though. They do have some good points. The body positivity movement, it's nice, all right? And I get it. I love it. Because, for instance, I couldn't keep doing pageants, right? Couldn't keep doing that forever. I wish I could, but they kick you out as soon as you get opinions and cellulite. And, so, you know, the older I get, I've learned to love stuff, you know? So now, you know what? Maybe they're right. Maybe we should embrace things. Maybe instead of cellulite, maybe we should just call it fingerprints, you know? And just enjoy it as little trophies, right? It was left over from all the good times we've had. And instead of worrying about our boobs sagging, maybe, you know, we should just be like, maybe they're just getting heavier because they're full of secrets. From all the good times we've had, maybe. And it's not just for women, guys. Listen, you can love your bodies too, all right? Listen, your balls. longer and more disgusting? I'm just kidding, they are. That's exactly what's happening. They're weird, all right? Balls are weird. Listen, we love penises. Penises, fantastic. Balls, why are they there? More importantly, why are they on the outside? If they're so special, why aren't they protected? And they make no sense. It's the strangest body part. If it's hot, they're stuck to your leg. If it's cold, they hide. What's going on? What's going on? Women are supposed to be the weaker sex, but I can take a man down with just a flip. One flick, one little tap, one little back of the hand tap. Take a man down. Take a man down. While we're on the subject of bodies are weird. Anybody else spend the pandemic trying to see if they could grow their own pair of boy shorts? Anybody do that? Just me? I wanted to test the limits of my body hair. That's what I wanted to do. I knew my body hair game was strong. I knew that because growing up with my mom, we used to play this fun game. It was hours of fun. It's called Help Me Find the Whisker. Has anybody ever played that game? Right? It's them filling their chin, and then you've got a pair of tweezers. You're both looking for like an 8-inch long jet black hair. Looks like it came off a Rottweiler. It's real spiky, right? Took 15 minutes to grow. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Thank you. So a couple people over here are just staring at me. They're like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's the kind of hair you go through like an entire day of work, and you get in the car and you look in the rearview mirror and the sunlight hits your face and you're like, cool. Cool. Nobody saw that hanging off my face? Nobody saw that phone cord looking thing? Sticking out of my chin. Nobody could have done a courtesy pluck or anything. Right? It's rude. And I used to make fun of my mom, and I was like, you're disgusting. And she's like, okay, you just wait. It's gonna happen to you one day, babe. And I was like, no, it's not. And then the other day, I was getting ready to go out, and I was plucking my nipple hair, and I was like, wow, that where bitch was right. She was right. What happened? When and where you least expect it, right? Now, I got some big laughs on the chin hair bit, all right? A lot of y'all were on board with that. And I thought we were all in the trust tree together. And everybody started getting quiet on me when I started talking about nipple whiskers. Statistically, I'm the only woman in this room with areolas. There's no way that's possible. If you don't have those, I bet you're rocking a Sasquatch, because that's what we all had to embrace over this past couple of years. I used to wonder why my grandma would wear ruffles around her bathing suit. Now I know. And I want one. It never stops. No one gives you a heads up. They give you a heads up about like devil hairs, right? The ones that'll just pop up anywhere. But no one ever tells you that the bikini line doesn't stay in the bikini, right? Just keeps making its way down your thighs. Right? It's like a bunch of pioneer hairs making their way out west. Go back here. We'll head out here. We're gonna invent Mormonism. Here we go. Heading out through the prairie. Dear God. It's amazing that I'm married, honestly. Based on all that information I just gave you. I'm a monster. Oh, man. But y'all, this past week was actually my 4-year wedding anniversary. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love being married, y'all. I love to tell people that I married my best friend. I love to say it. I say it. Thank you. Thank you. I say it all the time. I married my best friend. I don't mean it, but I say it because it sounds good. Here's the thing. I love the guy. He's my soulmate, you know, or the first one who ever asked. He's one of those. I wouldn't say he's my best friend, though. I think that's where he's not my best friend. Like, he's a friend. At best. He's there a lot. A lot. But here's the deal. I have a real best friend, all right? And she's been around way longer, all right? She knows all my secrets, all right? She's way cooler, all right? And most importantly, y'all, she's never tried to stick it in my ass. And that's not what best friends do to each other, okay? It's not. It's like, oops, wrong hole. You know exactly what hole that was, bud. You saw me drink that second margarita. You had a plan. You had a target. You could see the bullseye. Oh, oopsie. You can see the holes. I can't. That was premeditated. Good Lord. I love him, though. He is an amazing guy. He is my favorite person. I do love him so much. I remember that. I remember when we were dating and things were getting serious, and I was like, "This is it." You know, if he asked me, I'm gonna say yes. Mainly because like I was 30 and I didn't own anything of value, and no, seriously though, I remember like fantasizing about like what that dream proposal would be like one day, and what that dream ring would look like when I got it. And y'all, I am still fantasizing. Don't owe me. Listen, there's a diamond there. That's what he said it was. So we'll go with that. Not real sure. I know people get all butthurt when I say that. Calm down. Listen, I know people get bothered because I said that on stage the other night, and some dude in the back of the room just yelled out, "Hey, he worked hard." I was like, he could have worked harder. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. It's not a money thing. I'm not trying to money shame him or anything. He's just not a jewelry guy, okay? That's just not his thing, and I understand that. That's okay, you know? So, like, he already told me he didn't care if I upgraded, so y'all know on year 5, I'm gonna upgrade and get a new husband. So But seriously, though, he does have some money to spend, but he spends it on himself, okay? And that's okay. That's okay. You know, it's my bad. It's my bad, because when we were dating, I mentioned that I was a feminist too many times, okay? Ladies, save that for later, all right? Tell them early on, diamonds are a girl's best friend, okay? Don't be like, I don't even care if I get a ring. Don't say that. That's the dumbest thing you could ever say. You do care. You do care. And if you think you don't care now, you will care. Every time a friend grabs your hand, you'll be like, But y'all, he's into mountain bikes. That's where his money goes. And I get that. That's okay. That's awesome. I love mountain biking. He's super athletic. It's great. It's fun. And I know not everybody knows what mountain bikes are. Some people are confused. Like some of my girlfriends, when we started dating, they were like, oh my God, is that like motorcycles? That sounds sexy. And it's not. It's not like motorcycles at all. That would be sexy. What these are just bicycles that cost as much as a used car. Okay? And he's the motor on the bikes. And apparently, one bicycle, not enough bicycles, all right? I was a good girlfriend. When we started dating, I was like, sure, I'll ride mountain bikes with you, right? And I was like, this will be short-lived. Like, I won't have to keep doing it. And I still do, okay? I'm a good wife. And I thought 2 mountain bikes, 2 human people, that's enough mountain bikes. I was wrong, once again. Apparently need a whole bunch of these things, okay? And he tries to justify his fleet to me all the time. He's like, no, babe, hear me out. You gotta have them all. This one over here, this is better for uphill. This is better for downhill. This is an e-bike. This is a hardtail. It's good for jumps. And this one's better for suspension, for roots and ride. I'm like, you're an idiot. You are one man with one ass, all right? I don't know what he's doing on the weekends, right? I don't know if he's stacking up all these bikes in the truck, heading up to the mountains and setting himself up like a redneck relay race. Every mile is like, oh, got some more routes coming up, gotta switch from bikes. Hold my beer. I don't know what the man does, all right? All I know is that every time I walk out in the garage, I just see 6 better engagement rings. Thank you. With tires on them. That's what I see. And I guarantee you none of those bikes let him get away with that special thing I reluctantly let him do twice a year. All right? That's what... It's anal. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know if anybody... Just kidding. Clearly I don't do it. You saw my ring. You can't see it. I can't. I should have, though. Here's my PSA to everybody in the room. Any women in here waiting to get a ring from a fella, all right? Hear me out, okay? Maybe do little butt stuff here and there. Just listen. Hear me out, all right? Because it wasn't until after I received my ring that I remembered a very important thing we all learned in science class, okay? Which is how diamonds are made. The stronger the pressure, the bigger the diamond, okay? Just do it. Just do it a few times, all right? It only hurts at first, all right? But a tiny diamond, that hurts for a lifetime. So you gotta be careful. Gotta be careful with that. Jesus. Early on in the 45-minute shutdown that Atlanta had, early on, my lovely husband looks at me, and because we'd spent a lot of time together, obviously, and he was like, babe, I've been thinking. And I was like, please don't. And he's like, no, seriously. He's like, listen, I just want to share something with you. And I was like, all right, go for it. And he's like, I love you. You're sexy. I was like, duh. And he's like, but he's like, I wish you would seduce me more. And I was confused. Rightly so, you know? Because I'm like, do you think you've been doing the seduction? All this time? Is that what you think you've been doing? Because y'all, I put the effort in, okay? Like I have wigs, lingerie, I shower, right? Like I do the work. I do the work. And what he does is when I'm on the couch trying to binge watch Netflix, he comes wandering into the room with his soft shorts on. With a boner. As if he created it just for me. And then he just presents it like, huh? Here you go. You're welcome. Looky here. I'm like, is that the seduction, babe? Is that the seduction you're referring to right now? And he's like, I am stealthier than that. And I'm like, no, you're not. Like, if you're referring to the times that I am on the couch binge watching Netflix, and you come into the room on the other side of the couch where I can't see you approach, and you're wearing your soft shorts with a boner in bed, and then what you do is you take my hand and you put it on it. Is that it? Is that the seduction that you're talking about? Anyone who's ever had sex with a man has had that moment where they just take your hand and put it on it. Like they're presenting you with the thing you've been waiting for your whole life. Wow, the first and only. Just what I wanted to pause my show for. Thank you so much. And the problem is you do have to pause the show because the rules are, once you touch it, you gotta finish it off. Them's the rules. That's how it works. If you love them, that's what you do, right? And the worst part is when they're taking your hand and they're lifting it and you're in the dark in the living room, you're like, this is so romantic. Oh my God, is he gonna kiss my arm like he's Gomez and we're in the Addams Family? And you're like, no, that's just a penis. That's just a penis. No one ordered. Nope. And it's damn sure not the ice cream sandwich you asked them to go get you 15 minutes ago. They're like, this is not cold and sweet at all. This is hard and salty, and nobody ordered that. And he's like, babe, I'm better than that. And I was like, all right, we'll see. And so he said he'd put some effort into trying to seduce me, and I was like, all right, cool. So I was looking forward to it. And a few days later, I wandered into the bedroom, and he was wearing the man version of lingerie, which of course is the t-shirt and no pants. He's just flopping around. Just your favorite part. Just their frog butt. Just loose man junk in the front. And the best part was he had his foot propped up on the bench in front of the bed. Because, of course, we live in the suburbs, so it's mandatory that you have a bench in front of your bed. So he had his foot propped up, and I was like, oh, shit. I think he's trying to seduce me. I think this is it. Is he trying to Captain Morgan me right now? I was like, this is hot. Maybe I'll let him stab me with that sword, you know what I mean? Maybe I'll let him look for some booty. You know what I'm saying? That's a pirate joke. I don't know if you got that. And I was excited until I noticed that in his other hand he had a bottle of Clorox cleaning spray. And he was applying it to his recently injured toenail. From mountain biking, of course. And I was like, yep, nope, that's not it. That's not it at all. That's not seduction. That is home surgery. And I don't want to be a part of that at all. I don't want that at all. And I made my way down the hallway, and then I was like, oh, wait. I didn't even know he knew where the cleaning supplies were in the house. I am turned on again, and I went back in there. And we got it on. I mean, I made him put some socks on first, but we did it after that. I love making fun of him. Sorry, it's most of my set right now. I apologize. I love you, baby. He's here. I love him so much. He lets me make fun of him. I appreciate it. As much as I pick on him, it's great that I don't miss dating. Okay, I love being married. I truly love being married. I do not miss dating. I do not miss I do not miss all of the lying that you have to do when you're dating. You gotta act like you like the same shit they like, right? Gotta act like you like the same shows they watch, right? I don't miss any of that, all right? I don't miss hiding my crazy. I don't miss any of that at all. I like just being me. He gets to be him. It's great. At the end of the day, we're like, divorce is too difficult, all right? Keep this shit going, all right? I love it. But it was fun. Like when we first were dating and we'd end up at each other's houses and we'd like watch some TV together, I started noticing a pattern. Because anytime I let him pick the show that we would watch, he would always pick something about like the outdoors, okay? Specifically like the wilderness, like the deep wilderness. Like if there were men surviving in the wilderness, or if there were like people driving trucks on icy roads in the wilderness, or if there were men building tiny homes in the wilderness. He was obsessed with that. That was the stuff he wanted to watch every time, right? And then I started to notice that we were watching it for two totally different reasons. And I was like, oh, wait a second. I'm watching this for entertainment, and he's watching it like he's making a plan. I think he's trying to take me into the woods. Right? The mountain bike should have been the first sign, but I was like, wait a second. No. We're not doing that, all right? Because here's the thing. First of all, I love him, but I don't think he has the survival skills for the woods, okay? He can ride on a bike fast through the woods. But if we were stuck in the woods, I'm worried. For instance, if he has a shirt I don't like, okay, I can move it 5 inches to the left. And he'll never find that shirt again. Those aren't the kind of skills that's gonna keep me from being eaten by a bear, all right? Not doing it. But he would try. He tried really hard to talk me into a tiny house. He tried that for years. He's like, babe, let's live in a tiny house. And I was like, listen here, bud. I grew up poor, all right? I'm not living in something that could be towed away while I'm inside of it ever again. That's not what's gonna happen to me. Sorry. And he's like, but babe, you care about the environment. He's like, these tiny homes have composting toilets. And I'm like, I went to college. I'm not pooping in mulch. That's not what I'm doing. I am not a stray cat, all right? I'm not kicking dust over my feces. That's not what's happening. Sorry about it. I don't care how cute. I don't care how many subway tiles you put in a tiny home. I ain't living in one, all right? It's not happening, not here. But honestly, the main reason I didn't want to live in a tiny home with him deep in the woods is because as much in love with him as I am, I'm still not 100% sure he's not a serial killer. Listen. I do watch a lot of true crime, okay? Listen to a lot of murder podcasts, all right? But he does fit the profile, all right? Okay, you already heard about the wilderness stuff? But listen, I met him doing comedy, okay? That means he's a comedian. That's one step away from being a clown. It's very murdery, all right? He also owns a pressure washing business. That's just murder cleanup. Worst part, he's a middle-aged white guy, all right? Whose middle name is Wayne. He's gonna kill me in the woods. Our whole relationship has been a struggle to keep me in a medium-sized house in the suburbs, in the city limits, okay? And that's what we're doing, all right? That's why we stay there. Jeez Louise. I don't know, though. It's fun to have a quirky guy. I think it's important. Who in here is with a quirky person? Someone who's different? Yeah, it's fun. They keep you on your toes. You gotta be with someone who's a little different. Someone who's been through some shit, all right? Find you somebody with a little PTSD. Got a little story to tell, all right? Listen here, most of my husband's family is dead. Listen, I know that sounds bad. Don't awe me. All right, I didn't do it. Let me tell you something, all right? Leading up to wedding planning and having a dead mother-in-law, listen. It's a good gift, okay? It's a good... It's the kind of wedding gift you can't register for, all right? The whole rest of the relationship, I'm like, this is awful, this is sad, I'm so sorry for everything you've been through, but leading up to that wedding, I was like, thanks a lot, Brenda, you know? I was like, thanks a lot. 'Cause I got enough pressure coming from my side of the family, right? I don't need two sides, okay? And it's tough. He's been through a lot. And that makes him a little different, all right? He's on the edge. He's like, he's on the fringe. He's a little bit of a conspiracy theorist. And that's fun, okay? Sorry. Keeps things fresh, right? Somebody like that's not gonna cheat on you. They're not. Because they are busy. They got a lot of research to do. All right, they gotta stay online. They gotta make sure the Illuminati is not putting chemtrails out in the world to keep us from finding out the truth about 9/11, all right? There's important things he's gotta keep up with, and I like that. I like a man who's dedicated. I like a man who's at his computer a lot, all right? That's what I like. It's important, though. It's important to be with someone you don't 100% agree with on everything. For instance, I don't know, like politically, like we're not on the same side of everything, and that's okay, right? The world's in a crazy place. We're all too divided. We all judge each other by labels before we ever get to meet and talk. You gotta talk to people you don't think you agree with politically, right? Am I right? Am I wrong? It's ridiculous. We all might agree with different sides for different reasons, but at the core of everything, we're pretty much the same. We pretty much all want the same kind of thing. We just gotta talk more. The internet's made everything worse. I'm not trying to get on my pulpit right now, but like seriously, you just gotta reach across the aisle, right? You gotta talk, you gotta listen. You do. My husband and I are not the same on where we stand on stuff. For instance, like I'm a registered Democrat, all right? I'm an NPR sustainer. I read. That's just me. That's just me. That's okay. And I have my reasons, right? My husband, like I said, he's been through some shit. He doesn't trust people, and I get that. He's a little more an anarchist, all right? A little more libertarian, a little more in the middle of the road. He gets all his news from YouTube, okay? He keeps things fun, all right? And I like it. I learn from him. He doesn't listen to me. It's fun. But it's important. If you're with someone you don't 100% agree with, you got to find something that you both have in common, something that you can both like at least value, right? You got to share the same values. So what my husband and I value the most is the importance of him going down on me, and that is it's important. It's important, and he believes in it, and. It's great. It's important to our relationship. It's like it's on the food pyramid for him. It's like it's somewhere near like dairy and legumes. Like he's gotta get it in, you know? He's gotta get it in. And I love that. I love that about us, right? And sometimes, y'all, when he's getting his daily serving, you know, I'm like, you know what? Ron Paul did have some good ideas. Just saying. Just saying, all right? I don't have all the answers, but, you know. Bone across the aisle. Do it. Do it. It's great. We have a very interesting relationship for sure. I like to describe our relationship as who's seen the movie E.T.? Has anyone seen the movie E.T.? All people? Yeah, it's a lot like E.T., except like I'm Elliot and he's E.T. Right? Like one day, like I was wandering through the woods and I saw like a light coming from a shed, you know? And I was like, and I opened the door and I was like, what's in there? And he was like, ah. He's like, I'm so scared. Where am I? And I was like, oh my God, you are so cute. Holy shit, we are gonna get you inside into a real house. I'm gonna put some clothes on you that match. All right. Here, I've got some Reese's Pieces on me. Here, baby. Come on, you just follow these inside. I'm gonna get you in there, see if you can eat some pussy. Come on. I don't think that's how the movie went, but maybe I saw the porn version. I don't know. E.T. Bone home. Either way, it ends the same way, right? It ends the same way. It's him on a bicycle heading out to the woods. Worried that the government's out to get him. I'm protecting him in a little blanket. It's the same. It's the same story. It's the same story. Oh, man. I'm just happy to be in a good place. I'm happy to be in a good, healthy, happy relationship. Who's in a good, healthy, happy relationship? Anybody? Yeah. I like it. Those are good numbers. I'm happy to be in one. I haven't always been in good relationships. Prior to meeting my husband, I was in a lot of bad relationships. All right, dated a lot of men. Dated 2 different guys who jumped out of a moving car. Yep. I do realize that I'm the common denominator in both of those situations. And I did push the second one, but that's not what we're here to discuss, Your Honor. All right. I think that's why I'm ready to be a mom, y'all. I decided I wanted to try to have kids. I decided that. Thanks. I decided I should be a good mom because I've raised a lot of men. Okay. Raised a lot of them. Some successful, some unsuccessful, all right? I've raised a lot. I don't know if I decided I wanted to be a mom under the best circumstances, though, because it was during the pandemic. And it was at one point where I was just like, well, I haven't talked to anyone new in a while. So maybe I'll just make my own stranger. I don't know. Just really ready to talk to a friend with no mask on. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. Thank you. But here's the crazy thing about trying to have kids. They warn you your entire life. If you were born with a uterus, they are like, if you get anywhere near a penis, you were gonna get pregnant. That's what they tell you forever, right? So you're terrified. You stay away from it. You do all the things. You take the pills. You inject the things. You wear the rings. You do all the stuff, right? It's like your thighs are made out of Wonder Woman's cuff bracelets. You're just like ping, 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 ping. You're terrified. If you get a little bit of it on your leg, you're like, oh no. It's gonna crawl up. I'm gonna get pregnant. You're terrified. And then the second you decide, well, I guess we're gonna start trying. And then you say you're gonna start trying. He says, all right, let's start trying. And you start trying. You're like, oh no, the first time we're gonna do it, I need to start painting the nursery. This is it. And then all of a sudden you realize it's not that easy, all right? They've been lying to you the whole time. Not trying to say that I'm into conspiracy theories now, but I'm a little worried that sperm is a hoax, okay? I've been doing all the things. I've done it all right. And don't give me your little advice. All right, everybody tries to give me advice every time I say, oh, I've been trying to get pregnant for a year and a half, and I'm not pregnant. I'm like, but have you tried that? Yes. Of course. I've done all the things. I pee on the sticks every morning. Okay, I've taken the test. He's taken the test. We've done all the things. I've got the crystals. I've got all the stuff. Okay? The worst advice I've gotten is when people are like, well, you should probably cut out alcohol. And then I look at all my friends and I'm like, bitches, that's how all of you got pregnant. That's the only guaranteed way I know how to get a baby in me. What are you talking about? I'm not cutting out alcohol, you're crazy. But honestly, though, I'm not sure sperm works. I'm not sure it's doing what it needs to do. Maybe storks are really the thing that make babies. I don't know. Either way, at this point, I'm trying it all, okay? All right? Because I don't want to kidnap a kid at Target. I don't want to do it. I've thought about it, all right? I spend a good, solid hour to 3 hours in Target. And I've looked at those kids. The second they get a little too far away from their moms, I'm like, you could be mine. Your mom's not looking at you right now, but I am. Those aren't healthy thoughts, all right? So I've been trying a lot of stuff, okay? For instance, started washing my clothes in sperm. Listen, I know that's not the best idea, but who knows, all right? I put a little in my smoothie this morning. Listen, it's probably not how it works, but men are bad at asking for directions. So maybe the ones up here will talk to the ones down here. They'll get together. They'll point out the uterus. They'll figure this out. I don't know. Started putting it on all the seats in my house. Listen. Just trying to say don't come to my house because there is cum all in my house. Thank you. I'm happy to be with someone who I do want to have a baby with. That's the most important thing. Whether I do or not, happy to be with someone that I want to have a baby with. Thank you. That's good. The last serious relationship I had before my husband was it was bad. All right, it was toxic to say the least. It was one of those where there were like red flags from the beginning, and I shouldn't have been with the guy, but he was very tall. I shouldn't have dated him, and I accidentally dated him for 6 years, and he was tall the whole time. The entire time. So don't judge me. Right? Has anybody been in a relationship where they like had red flags or they knew they were being cheated on, but they couldn't prove it? Anybody? Couple people? Yeah. I know I'm not the only one who's dated men in here. Yeah. And I'm not trying to say women don't lie or cheat. Women lie, we lie too, all right? We're good at it, all right? We're good liars. But here's the difference. Women have sweet lies, okay? We have lies that keep the relationship together. You know, things like, oh my God, it's so big, and ow, and you're the first one I ever let do that, you know, stuff like that. Stuff like that. Guys lie about things like second families. That's what they lie about. Guys, make your lies smaller, okay? Bad with your lies. You're bad with your lies. Oh man, I knew my ex was cheating. I couldn't prove it, all right, and that was tough. But we did have some nice moments, because you can't say a 6-year relationship was totally bad. It had some nice moments, like we had cute pet names for each other. Like I'd call him Sugar Butt, and he'd call me a crazy bitch like my mom, and that was fun. That was fun. We did this fun thing together when we had a chance. I don't know if anybody in here does it. It's super fun. It's called Fighting in Public. Does anybody? Oh, man, it's awesome. Like, if we had a night off together, like, we'd have a couple drinks before we'd leave the house, then we'd go to dinner and have a couple bottles of wine, because it'd be a Wednesday, so they'd be half off. And then after that, we'd go to some after bar, and then we'd have like 17 more drinks. And it's a very healthy relationship. And at some point in the night, I'd come out of the bathroom with my eyelashes from earlier on my cheek, full of all my suspicions. And I'd walk out of the bathroom, and I'd see him talking to some woman, and I'd be like, who are you talking to? And he'd be like, this is a waitress. I'm trying to order you another drink. And I'm like, oh, what are you trying to do, order her through her ass? And he's like, you're crazy. And I'm like, you're crazy. And he's like, get out of here. I'm like, I will. I'm done with this. And I go to leave, and then my shoe will fall off behind me. And then I just hobble out like some sort of white trash Cinderella. And then at some point, some sad bartender would have to come out and be like, oh my God, this again? And he'd be like, ma'am, could you please put your shoe back on? And I'd be like, that's not my shoe. That shoe says Forever 21 on it, and I'm fancy. I only wear Louboutins. And he'd be like, that's interesting, because this matches your other shoe, and you're the only shoeless bitch out here. So how about you put this on? Get in there and date that guy for another 3 years, and I did. The best part was when I caught him, though. Towards the end of the relationship, we came up with this other fun thing. When I'd wait for him to come home from his bar job, and I'd wait for him to go to drunk sleep, and then what I would do is I would wake up from fake sleeping. And then I'd go step around the bed, and I'd go get his cell phone off the nightstand. I'd crouch down in my side of the room, right? And I'd get real low in the floor. All right, it's important to get low. You got to stay low, because if they wake up, you throw yourself on the floor. You roll under the bed for a second. You wait for them to go back to sleep, and then you go back to recon, okay? It's very important. So night after night, I'd sit there scrolling through his phone, looking for evidence, right? Just scrolling, butt naked in the corner of the room. Just like, I'll show you crazy. Thank you. But then I found it. I was right. The entire time, I was right. He was cheating on me, but what he did is he saved the girl's name under a guy's name in his phone, thought I wouldn't see it. Tricky. So one night I see a message come through from a Jonathan, and I'm like, that's a weird text for a Jonathan to send to my boyfriend. And then I scrolled back, and I was like, wow, Jonathan's tits are way nicer than I thought they were. Look at that. How about that? And there was 3 months of evidence. He'd gotten real lazy, not deleted anything. And what I could have done is I could have confronted him in the middle of the night. But, it had been 6 years, so what I needed to do is collect all the evidence so I could do it the next day at his job in public. So nowadays, it's easier. We've got airdrops so much quicker. But what I had to do is I had to do the whole scroll, screenshot. Then you got to make sure you text message yourself all the screenshots that you took off his phone, right? So you got to text yourself the screenshots, but you got to cover up your tracks. You got to delete all the screenshots of the text messages that you already did on his phone that you sent to yourself. Then you got to go to the photo album, and you got to delete the screenshots of the text messages you saved to the photo album. Don't forget the deleted album. Go to the deleted album. Delete all the screenshots of the text messages you took out of there, right? And I'm just telling you that to tell y'all how good it feels to be in a healthier place. Thank you. Thank you. It feels so good. It feels so good to be with someone whose phone I don't have to go through anymore, you know? It feels good. It feels good. Thank you. I still do it, but it's just for sport. Nothing good in there, just mountain bikes. That's all I can find.